Very helpful. Thank you.
Good. When you embark on the final season of the show after so long, do you have like a clear idea in your mind of what you want to do, a bucket list of things you want to tick off?
Well, we've come up with an ending that I'm not going to reveal. We started with that.
Right.
We don't know how we're going to get there. We're trying to bring back as many fan favorites, sprinkled into episodes along the way, just sort of a thank you to the fans and people you know that they like. Trying to make that organic to the story is a little bit of a challenge, but so that's we have to kind of write ourselves out of the problem that we left with. That's going to take about 3 episodes, and then we have a plan after that, which I think will be satisfying.
What do you think the impact of the show has been on the pop culture landscape over these years, looking back at what the show accomplished and that sort of thing?
I'm not a Twitter guy, or I'm not big on social media. But I think the loyalty of this fan base for that long a period of time, and that we've actually added to it over the years, is kind of remarkable. I've never been involved in anything that's had that sort of impact. I mean, you walk out into Hall H and it's just packed, and they're there for us. It's overwhelming. So I think when we wrap the final episode, I think all this will sink in a little more. Right now we're just trying to
get through it.
But I'm sure it'll be tough when we wrap.
Fans have been calling for a supernatural movie, and the boys have said, they'd love to do a supernatural movie. What do you think the chances that might actually happen, or is it just a pipe dream?
I don't think it's a pipe dream. I mean, it's, Warner's features is so much different than Warner's television. I think generally when they make a movie or a TV show, there's a certain, time lapse between the two, certainly with X-Files. So I'm certainly not ruling it out. It's something I'd be interested in. I think the boys would probably love to do it. But again, we're just trying to, I think, get through this season and do it in a way that, people will be happy with it.
You mentioned you knew the ending. When did you know the ending that you guys wanted for the show?
Pretty much, Andrew and I talked about it, and then when we brought all the writers in, we sort of pitched the idea to them, and then we pitched the idea to the guys, and everybody got on board, and it's kind of exciting. There's an element to it that takes. It's going to take a little doing, but that element has agreed, so that's as much as I can tease. I think it's going to be exciting. It's going to take us a day to shoot.
Will you be directing the final episode?
Yes.
Yes.
Somehow I just think that's fitting.
They'd be right from the streets if you were.
That's very kind. Yeah. I think we counted up. I think this year I'll hit 45 episodes that I've directed. I've done shows that haven't gone 45 episodes.
When were the first sort of inklings that season 15 would be the last?
I think Jensen and I had sort of talked in general terms about what's the end. I said to them, look, and I don't know that this is going to have any effect on you guys, but if it seems indefinite, I don't think I could do it much longer. Once I knew there was a final thing, it was easy for me to sign on and say, I'm going to do it. But then we talked a little more, and I think Jensen sort of got on board more quickly than Jared, but I think once Jensen sort of said this is what he wanted to do, Jared, was in total agreement. And I think once we made this decision, everybody was kind of happy with it. And, I think we, it's tough to say you want to go out on top, because I don't know if we were ever on top, but we wanted to go out while we're still fresh, and that we're not staggering to the end.
Which raises the question, after 15 years, if a show goes that long, does it become harder to sustain it and keep it going, or easier to sustain it and keep it going?
That's a good question. The show has evolved to in a storyline that I don't think Eric or I ever anticipated in the early years. But in trying to keep it fresh and new, we just kind of kept coming up with, expanding the universe of the show. And one rule that we've always tried to live by is that our villains are real characters. Eric used to say, every villain is the hero of his own story. So we always wanted to kind of make villains that, they had their point of view. And so when we would come up with a new villain and an uber villain to carry us sort of through a year, then we've been really fortunate with the casting we've had. Sometimes, we always write ourselves into a corner at the end, and don't know how we're going to get out. But that's always been a challenge, and, so it helps us keep it fresh. I remember after year 7, and Sarah wrote the last episode, and she had Dean and Cass stuck in purgatory, and I said, well, that's a great ending, and I directed that episode, and this is really cool. Now you're leaving, thanks a lot.
How convenient.
But I thought that, Jeremy and I came up with a kind of a template for season 8 that I thought was really, I thought that was one of our best seasons. So, we enjoy that challenge, and that's, and this year it's a big one too.
Thank you very much,
Thanks
guys.
for your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.